Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with my next video on words of wisdom. And here, as you can all see, we have the great contributor to the whole world, and he is Johannes Gutenberg. Johannes Gensfleisch zur Laden zum Gutenberg was a German inventor, printer, publisher, and goldsmith who introduced printing to Europe with his mechanical movable type printing press. Gutenberg's printing press was considered a history-changing invention, making books widely accessible and ushering in an information revolution. The use of movable type was a marked improvement on the handwritten manuscript, which was the existing method of book production in Europe, and upon wood block printing and revolutionized European bookmaking. Gutenberg's printing technology spread rapidly throughout Europe and then in the whole world. His major work, the Gutenberg Bible, was the first printed version of the Bible and has been acclaimed for its highest aesthetic and technical quality. His work started the printing revolution in Europe and is regarded as a milestone of the second millennium, ushering in the modern period of human history. An overview of the wider claim of Gutenberg's accomplishments is found in several sources. In 1999, the A&E network ranked Gutenberg number 1 on their People of the Millennium countdown. In 1997, Time Life magazine picked Gutenberg's invention as the most important of the second millennium. Here we can see the picture of how printing is being done by the mechanical movable printing press. Four prominent US journalists did the same in their 1998 resume, ranking his impact high in shaping the millennium. The Catholic Encyclopedia describes Gutenberg's invention as having made a practically unparalleled cultural impact in the Christian era. It played a key role in the development of Renaissance, Reformation, Age of Enlightenment, and scientific revolution, as well as laying the material basis for the modern knowledge-based economy and the spread of learning to the masses. His many contributions to printing include the invention of a process for mass-producing movable type, the use of oil-based ink for printing books, adjustable molds, mechanical movable type, and the use of a wooden printing press similar to the agricultural screw presses of the period. His truly epochal invention was the combination of these elements into a practical system that allowed mass production of printed books and was economically viable for printers and readers alike. Gutenberg's method for making type is traditionally considered to have included a type metal alloy and a hand mold for casting type. The alloy was a mixture of lead, tin, and antimony that melted at a relatively low temperature for faster and more economical casting cast well and created a durable type. Now this should be made very clear that before the coming of printing press, books were either written by hand or people followed the Chinese block printing system. This was very cumbersome method, used to take a long time to write and complete the book. So the book production was very less and less people got to read them. The common mass was uneducated. But after the coming of printing press, it brought a scientific and educational revolution in the whole world. Now people were able to read because more copies were printed using this mechanical movable type of printers, and people were able to come to know what was going around the world. So let us read and see what else I have for you. In Renaissance Europe, the arrival of mechanical movable type printing introduced the era of mass communication, which permanently altered the structure of society. The relatively unrestricted circulation of information, including revolutionary ideas, transcend borders, captured the masses in the Reformation, and threatened the power of political and religious authorities. The sharp increase in literacy broke the monopoly of literate elite on education and learning and bolstered the emerging middle class. So once people got to read, they came to know more about religion, more about the power of politics. The monopoly of the literate elite was threatened. Now, all over the world, people were learning how to read. Literacy was increasing. Across Europe, the increasing cultural self-awareness of its people led to the rise of proto-nationalism, accelerated by the flowering of European vernacular languages to the detriment of Latin's status as lingua franca. In the 19th century, the replacement of hand-operated Gutenberg-style press by steam-powered rotary presses allowed printing on an industrial scale, while Western-style printing was adopted all over the world, becoming practically the sole medium for modern bulk printing. So if we analyze, printing world was started by Gutenberg. Later on, the Western style and the modern printing system came. The coming of printing and increasing literacy rate amongst the people brought about proto-nationalism and also the flourishing of vernacular languages rather than Latin that was a lingua franca. So when the printing press was invented, there was a shift from the laborious manuscript making to the codex print, allowing many copies of written work to be quickly created, in turn providing greater access to information for all and providing the framework for the gradual transformation of the societal literacy. In the 15th century, an innovation enabled people to share knowledge more quickly and widely. Civilization never looked back. Knowledge is power, as the saying goes, and the invention of the mechanical movable type printing press helped to disseminate knowledge wider and faster than before. And we can see here a picture of a person carrying books in a basket, taking a round so that everybody could buy a copy and be able to read. Now here we can see the printing of the Bible by Gutenberg. Now let us see Europe before printing press. During the Middle Ages, books were rare, had to be copied by hand, often by monks. Most people were illiterate. They were not able to read, and most books were written in Latin, the language used by scholars and the church, which the common people did not know. So here we have some pictures where the monks are actually writing all the books. And here you can see the picture on the top is the biggest handwritten Bible. So very voluminous it is, so difficult to read. And here at the bottom we can see another handwritten Bible. So we see that block printing reached Europe in 13th century. 1440, Gutenberg developed the printing press, could produce books quick and cheap. Gutenberg's Bible, that was written in 1455, was the first full-sized book printed by the movable type of printing press. The cost of the books decreased, and now the focus spread first on religion and then on others. Others means the travel guides, the medical manuals, etc. Before Gutenberg's press, let us see, nearly 600 years ago, before Gutenberg, Chinese monks were setting ink to paper using a method known as block printing, in which wooden blocks are coated with ink and pressed to sheets of paper. The carved wooden blocks used for this early method of printing were also used in Japan and Korea as early as the 8th century. Wood block printing or block printing is a technique for printing text, images or patterns used widely throughout East Asia and originating in China in antiquity as a method of printing on textiles and later paper. As a method of printing on cloth, the earliest surviving examples from China date to before 220 AD. Wood block printing existed in Tang, China by 7th century AD and remained the most common East Asian method of printing books and other text as well as images until the 19th century. Ukiyo-e is the best known type of Japanese wood block art printing. The printing press made it easier to produce books which helped literature. Also, there were more Bibles and holy books produced, so religion benefited as well. Intelligence went up, as did literacy rate, and ideas were able to circulate throughout Europe and then the whole world. The printing press made it possible to educate people faster than ever before. New ideas and knowledge could be shared with more people than even the best teacher could hope to reach in their lifetime. The printing press also changed the teaching process itself, particularly in technical subjects and religion. And it is said one single hand-copied Bible would take a scribe about 4 years to finish. 20 men produced 450 Gutenberg Bibles in a year after the printing press came. Therefore, each Bible was produced 90 times faster and only cost 1/10 as much as a hand-copied version. Here are few words from Gutenberg. Gutenberg said, "It is a press, certainly, but a press from which shall flow an inexhaustible streams. Through it, God will spread His word. A spring of truth shall flow from it. Like a new star, it shall scatter the darkness of ignorance and cause a light heretofore unknown to shine amongst men." So well said. We need to remove the darkness of ignorance and spread the light of knowledge. He also said, "Give me 26 soldiers of lead and I will conquer the world." What do you think these 26 soldiers are? The alphabets. And according to him, if you are educated, you can conquer the whole world, because pen is definitely mightier than sword. I hope you all enjoyed this session. This was something really new and helpful for each one of you. Do let me know in the comment section whether these wow sessions are boring and I should discontinue them or take them just like the Sunday stories type. In fact, I made them so in the presentation forms so that I could share the important quotations, thoughts of these inspiring people, some pictures which I want to share Do let me know, give your opinion so that the channel is really interesting for each one of us. We'll meet next Wednesday with another inspiring character. Till then, take care. Goodbye.